Here we are again for another roll reveal. This one is number 527. Going to be opening an original roll of 1954 S San Francisco Mint Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco coins. Here it is right here. There's your Federal Reserve Bank of San Francisco. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. There's Cap Morgan dollar. Good day, Jay. Let's see. I'm just prying the end of the paper apart to get the coins out of the roll. Get coins out of the roll. I do it using this little plastic tool made for opening cell phones. There's Farm Dog, Mickey Fur. Oh, you got the crowd coming over from the other side. This one should be kind of an exciting roll. 1954S, original bank wrap roll. No guarantees on what we see inside, but it is an original roll. Here we go. Gonna unravel it, unwrap it, and get started. There we go. Okay, no double die reverses known for 1954S, so what we're going to do is go through the first 10 coins on both sides, and then we'll stop going through the reverses just to make better room for the remainder of the show on the obverses. So here's Cap Morgan dollar. He's going to get the end coin right here. See what's on the end. A nice double die obverse to be watching for. Other than that, I don't really know of much else other than RPMs. Double die obverse shows mostly an In God We Trust. A little bit on the outside edge of the 4, but not very well in later die state. Reverses, we just don't know anything for the reverses. Been looked at for years and years, and nobody's ever found anything. Hello, Paul. Good afternoon, sir. It is officially afternoon everywhere in the United States except Alaska and Hawaii. We're going to look at the reverse on this one first. I just made that command decision because I would rather it look like a decision than a mistake. Now we'll look at the obverse. The obverse is going to show us, oh, hi. Well, that's interesting. I think that could be an RPM. But it's definitely an interesting die break. Got a die chip in the 9, a die chip in the upper 5. You got a die crack that runs from the middle of the 5 to the bottom of the 5 and then over to the S. Almost looks like one of those quote-unquote San Jose Mint coins. Very nice. Very soft, very late die state. You can see there's a whole lot of die wear goes into making a coin look this interesting. And this one, of course, had its share. Lots of die wear. All right. That one is for Crispy. I'm going to put it in a pile. I'm going to start a pile of those because I think it's an RPM. A little hard to tell. But here's one for Ant. And Ant did not get the same die. This is an interesting looking coin, but there isn't anything on here for hub doubling or a repunch mint mark. We'll take a look at the reverse because we're still in the first 10 coins of the roll. And I don't see anything here. So, you found your way back, Cookie? Well, I am glad to see you here. Let's see what the next coin is. This one's for Frostbite. And Frosty gets, that looks like it could be a compression hit on the upper left part of the S. That kind of takes away our ability to tell whether it's actually a minor RPM or not. I'm going to go with not until we can find something else that matches it and shows us without damage that it is an RPM. So I'm looking for a marker to use in determining the next coin of this die comes from the same die as this coin. I'm not finding anything. Okay, we've got a small die crack between the E and the R of Liberty. Lower ER of Liberty. So I will put that in Frostbite's holder and move it to the side. Alright, let's see what we have here. Got a little bit of a thunderstorm getting ready to move into the area. I can hear thunder off in the distance. We've had some thunder and rain and stuff up north of here for a while now. It's been raining up in Raleigh for a couple of hours. But we haven't had any of it here yet. Well, just a little sprinkle. Alright, on this coin I'm not seeing anything. I'll go ahead and run through the remainder of the obverse anyway and tell you. We're going to flip this over. We're going to take a look at the reverse to see what's on the reverse, if anything. Although I don't expect anything on the reverse of any of these coins because, well, 1954S is just not one of those issues known for having double die reverses. Our thunder is getting a little more frequent and a little louder, which means it's probably getting closer and it's probably involved in the middle of a big storm. There's a little hump on the outside edge of the 4 right there. Nice little marker for, well, we have a minor RPM here. It is, however, quite minor, but we're going to get it. Yeah, this one's good enough. We can get this one identified. There it is. You can see it. I'll even bring my light up just a little bit more so it makes it easier to see. But you can see it right here on the outer edge of the upper part of the S. There's also a small split on the inside of the serif right over here you can't see very well. But the marker for that one's going to be this really nice looking bird's nest sitting on the outside edge of the 4. That's a pretty obvious little marker right there. So we're going to get ourselves another RPM to be watching for. It's relatively minor, but it is there. Let me back out again, focus in, get my lighting right, and we'll keep moving. Turn the lights down low. Listen to the music on the radio. Yeah, I'm old. Remember that from when I was a kid, when I was a little kid. And see, there's another small die break, but that one's from the B to the E. The one I was looking for Frosty was from the E to the R. So, still looking at the first 10 coins. Let's take a look at the reverse and see what we see here. Nothing at all. You're watching me from afar. Do I want to ask, Eric? Kid thinks you're nuts. Yeah. Well, he's not wrong, you know. Let's see here. Nothing there. This is one of the very late die state coins. We got thunder rumbling across the sky now. Let's take a look at number 8. Frostbite again. I'll just get another one of the same die that you can't tell on this one either. Nothing really there. Not the same die. Nonetheless, nothing that I'm highly excited to announce or go take a good look at, because just not really anything there. Well, bummers, folks, you all know the story. If there weren't such a scarcity in finding the RPMs and double dies, they would have no value. If they had no value, most of us would not be looking for them. That's a little die scratch leading into the front of the S on that coin. No doubling on the obverse. What about the reverse? Well, as is generally expected, I'm not saying respected, I'm saying expected. It's just generally expected with 1954S. Lincoln cents across the board. There is no doubling on the reverse of this coin. Is Eric doing a 1960 D Mint bag? I did not know Eric was going to be doing a 1960 D Mint bag. Here's one for Deanne. I did a 1960 D Mint bag a couple of weeks ago, but I don't have another one. Those are not easy to acquire at all. I don't see anything on that one either, except an S that's moved way off to the east of where it should be. What 60D mint bag are we talking about, Stonecutter? I don't think... And we don't have a 1960D mint bag coming up that I know of. I have a 1985D bag. I have a 1960 plain bag. I have one from, I believe, 1963. Those will all come up in the next couple of months. Big, nice looking. That's a progression on that other coin that we saw earlier. This is a progression of that die break. Kind of interesting looking. You're watching reveal number MSB number 2. That's what do you mean you're watching MSB number 2 right now? You're confusing me. MSB number 2 has been done for a couple of weeks now. Frostbite? Frostbite now? Oh, there's a nice RPM. That's a pretty RPM. Let's get in on close on that one. Look at that. That's kind of sexy right there. Look at that. That's a nice one. This one's definitely listed. It's got a full extra lower curve. Yeah, MSB number 2 was a couple of weeks back. Yeah, I missed it. We've already done MSB 004, I believe. Yeah. 1, 2, 3. 3. 4. We had a 60 plain bag. We had a 60D bag. We had a 63 bag. And then we had a 59. It was supposed to be a 59 plain. Turned out to be a 59D bag. That one's productive. Lots and lots of RPMs coming out of that bag. No, not another 60D. Not unless I can find one. Okay, Frosty got a really nice RPM there. Let's move on to coin number 13. See what we get with coin number 13 here. And number 13 goes to Deanne. And Deanne gets... Well, it is... I believe an RPM, maybe. I'll have to look at markers on this one. It's a little hazy around the date area. Let me hit this one with hit this one with a little bit of xylene, get some of that powder off the coin so I can see what's underneath it. There we go. Makes it a lot easier to see that there's nothing on there. Okay. Well, it's how you make sure. It is how you can make sure. So we know. All right. Well, next, after Diane, we're going with Jim Fletcher. And there's a nice RPM right there. Nice split upper serif and the inside of the upper. Wow, that is nice. That's what I was looking for right there. That is what I was looking for. This one should have a little die chip between, or die crack between the E and the R, the lower E and the lower R. No, it doesn't. Darn it. Frostbite's coin remains a mystery. But this one, definitely a nice RPM. No Cat Morgan dollar. I use a Q-tip and I soak the Q-tip liberally in it, and then I kind of brush it on and then kind of brush wipe it off. It's not something that has to be done with surgical precision. It doesn't leave a residue. Gosh, there's another coin. This one's Carl's. Another one's got a little bit of a softy look because it's had oh, that's a nice buy right there. Nice buy. So Carl gets a pretty buyer. Yep, just a little Q-tip is all it takes. Q-tip and a dab. Just like this. Pick all that stuff off of there. Just like that. Enough of it that you can see what you're doing. But there's a certain type of stuff that will come off, and there's other types of stuff that will not come off. Okay, this one for Carl is different from the others. Not a die variety, but it does have a buy on it. I did do an 89 bag, but the 89 bag was reveal number 500. I did the 89 bag prior to starting the chain of numbers for the seal bags. So that's why it did not count as a seal bag. It was reveal number 500. Amazing when we get all these different dies out of a bank sealed roll. That one doesn't have anything on it. About 17. Farm Dog. Mr. Farm Dog. Oh, that's a nice RPM, but it's, you can see the split in the upper and lower serif. You can see the division along the lower loop there, but you have a hit on the upper part of the mint mark. Kind of takes away a little bit of the juice that would have. Crispy. Crispy up next. And Crispy gets another nice RPM there. It's a pretty RPM. This is another one of the same die again. So we're starting to build a little collection of RPMs here, and that's good. Paul up next. Paul gets... Okay, this is the one I think I saw of Frosty's, an earlier coin of Frosty's. Yeah, this is the one with the break on the ER. And This one's a little better shape because it's not been run over. And it appears that it's normal. So I'm not going to be pulling any more of those. Here's coin number 20. This one goes to Carl. And Carl will pull an exploding die. So Carl gets a buy. Carl gets an exploding die. Carl gets whatever Carl wants, right? That's how that seems to be working out. Yeah, Sissy gets one that looks like it's beginning to become an exploding die, but it has nothing special. This is a very late die state coin here. So who's this? Taco John. Taco John gets a nice double split serif RPM. It's too bad some of these are actually hit on the mint mark. It kind of takes away a little bit of the juice the mint mark has when you put a hit on a nice RPM. Somebody looks at it and says, what's those lines running across? Don't pay attention to the lines, just look at the doubling. Well, how do I know where the doubling is if I got all these lines? You, sir, should stick with Beanie Babies. Alright. Well, this one proved not to be anything earlier. It's that one with the S shifted way over to the east. It's got a couple of little humpy bubble looking things over toward the vest from the mint mark. This one is not an RPM. Not an RPM, and it's very late die state. And that's for Parviz. Here's one for Mr. Worley. And Mr. Worley, not an RPM. Well, that's the ER. Yeah, we've decided not to go with that as being an RPM. It looks a little bit too... Well, actually what it is, the die is too worn to tell whether it is an RPM. And because it's rather minor, I don't think I want to go into trying to figure out if it actually is, because, well, that just causes a lot of delay. And delay is not something I'm good with. Don't mind spending time doing something that time requires. But when you're spending time doing something that doesn't matter, then your time becomes wasted. And time is the most valuable commodity we have on this planet. Whether it's time with your family, time alone, especially time with your dog, because your dog's time goes 7 times faster than yours does. But time, when we're getting work done or getting something, every day I come in here to sit and do something in this office. I come in here to make progress at something. It really doesn't matter exactly what I'm making that progress in, as long as I'm making progress. This appears to be a minor RPM. This one's for Roger Borland. So we'll keep this out for Roger. Even if I just take pictures of a couple of RPMs that'll go on the website, I've done something that puts me a step ahead of yesterday. And if every day I get 1 step ahead of yesterday, then that means I'm not stepping in post holes. That means I'm going forward. As long as I'm going forward, you can't complain about me not doing anything. You might complain about it not going fast enough. But I do what I can, when I can. It's one for Mickey. Oh, no, this is not Mickey. It's Mark. Sorry, Mickey. Nice exploding die going on here. I do believe we have an RPM there. Looks like a late die state version of an RPM with a split upper and lower. So I got struck through a candy bar. 31 now. Captain Morgan dollar. Captain Morgan dollar makes you holler. Right? Oh, look at that. That's pretty. That looks almost like a bouquet of flowers. Got breaks everywhere on this coin. 32 now. 32 goes to Sissy. Nothing there. Nothing there on that one. Let's keep looking around just to check the rest of it. And for Wanda. Wanda. We should be repeating dies throughout this. You should be seeing dies that we've seen before pretty much throughout all of this. Another one of our RPMs. This one's actually pretty decent, although it's a little confusing because the RPM is only on the upper left curve. That thing on the upper serif and the thing on the lower right curve, that's a hit. So it's not the highest quality example of an RPM. In fact, all these coins are they're not high quality. They're not bad, but they're not high quality. Considering we got these out of an original bank wrap roll, they've never been messed with, mixed with, fondled with, or molested in any way. Yet they don't look great. That shows you a sign of the time of the quality of the San Francisco Mint when they were getting close to shutting down. There we go. There's a nice one. That's pretty. That works. They were getting close to shutting down regular coin production. They stopped producing Lincoln cents in March of 1955. So 1954 was kind of their swan song as they were getting ready to mint their final year of coins. They kept minting coins after 1955. However, the coins that they minted were in assistance to the other mints, and they did not have the S mint mark. Yeah, a lot of these dies are old beyond being old. It's like those people that get to be 114, 115, 116 years old. You look at them, they kind of look a little odd because they're so old. That is a minor RPM right there. Well, let's see, that's got the ER break. Oh, Chuck. It is raining outside now. It's not just sprinkling at this point. We're getting a gully washer. Farm Dog gets the next coin. Let's see what we've got on the next coin. That'd be coin number 37. Nice little amount of die breakage-ish things going on there. Interesting coin, but nothing highly special. Tain't spatial, it just looks party. Alright. Coin number 38 now, Malcolm. There's another one. Looks like a bouquet of flowers. That's such a breakage issue with 1954S. You would think that their machines were having problems that year, but no, not problems. They were just being cheap. Grouse the Ghoul. Not very often we see his name pop up, and he gets a nice RPM. Pretty RPM right there. That's for Grouse the Ghoul. I'm glad I shut my windows before I started this broadcast, because it could have been quite messy. We could have had an issue if I hadn't shut that front window. Wind's blowing straight from that direction. There's our minor RPM right there. You can see it on the upper serif and partly on the lower serif as well. It's not much, but it's an RPM. We'll take a look at it. Oh, we don't have any problem with heat here. I think it's only, well, it's 75 inside the house right now. I don't know what it is outside. Let me check real quick. Let's see. Yeah, it's only 65 degrees outside here right now. 65 degrees, humidity 94%, your barometric pressure. No, I'm not going to do that. That's how they do it on the radio, though. And it's currently 65 degrees. Your relative humidity is 94%. The winds are out of the northeast at 5 to 10 miles per hour and gusty. Look at that. Nice little Class C right there. That's pretty. Doesn't mean much, but it's pretty. 87 degrees is hot. I don't want to hear it, bro. Honestly. From late February until early October, it's warmer than that in Florida. Yeah, you get a day that's only 84 degrees and you're 87 degrees anyway. You only get a day that's only 87 degrees and you're happy for it. So there's another really nice RPM. This one's going to go to Parvis. There's my thunder. Thunder only happens when it's raining. All right, let's see. Doug. It's another one of those exploding dies. Not much else with it, though. It's just an exploding die. Roger. Let's see what Roger gets here. That's one of the normal ones. It's one of the normal ones. Oh, we got a lot of thunderous stuff. I'm going to have to check the weather and be sure I can come back online. I may need to shut down for a while and come back on sometime later. But we're going to try to get through all this broadcasting in one fell swoop. I'm going to have to check my weather when I get offline, though. Most of the lightning I'm hearing is upper sky lightning. Most of it's not like cloud to ground type stuff. You can tell the upper sky, the cloud to cloud lightning, because it echoes for a long time. You can just hear it rumble, 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 rumble. But the real cloud to ground kind just kind of crack, crack, pow, and then it goes away. Well, you got 60 degrees there in northern Arkansas, but in St. Louis they're having flurries. So you may get cooler weather. It sounds like you may have a cold front moving through. Now number 47. This one goes to Sureg. Sureg for coin number 47. And we have nothing special with coin number 47. Now number 48, Parvis. Parvis gets another pretty RPM. I don't remember what number this is. My head tells me it's 5, so I know I'm wrong. That's the way I always look at things. If I'm automatically thinking it is something, my better sense tells me you're wrong. Don't say it. 49 now goes back to Sureg. And Sureg is going to get this. Yeah, looks like it's a little minor RPM. Could be. we're getting a gully washer out there. Just a soaker. Paul? Coin number 50 for Paul. It's got the brakes in the 5 and such, but it is not an RPM or a double die. And that, boys and girls, makes the end of this roll. I'm going to reschedule our next show for about another hour and a half to 2 hours out. Give everybody time to have some supper like me and get past this little line of storms here so that I know it's safe to be broadcasting. I'm going to shut my computer down until then. But gully washer sent your granddad in Missouri. Well, I'm from Missouri, so here's your varieties out of this one. I'm going to flash the names. Flash of names. Here's your varieties. There it is. All right, folks. I'm going to slide off of here and shut down for a while. I'll probably bring this back at about, I'm going to say probably 8 o'clock Eastern time. So a couple hours from now, let these storms get past us, and then I'll come back online. I appreciate it. Thank you, guys, and I'll talk to you later on this evening.